Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Originally released in late 2017, he's brand new and available in stores right now as of the time of this recording, and he retails for approximately $45. So they've got a really cool concept for Optimus Prime here. I really love what they've done here because they've borrowed, they've used inspiration from just all these different ideas of Optimus Prime throughout the ages, I guess, and just put them all together to make a really interesting toy. So what we've got here is a very G1-esque Optimus Prime that when he transforms, the cab is not going to transform into Optimus Prime. It's rather going to transform into Orion Pax. And then Orion Pax is going to have a very Power Mastery-ish, if that's even a word, but a very Power Master type of transformation or combination with the trailer to then give us a very G1 looking Optimus Prime. Very cool concept, and I love what it does here. So here in truck mode, Optimus is approximately 5 inches long at the cab, 2.5 inches tall. The trailer is about 7 inches long, 3 inches tall, giving us a total of about 11 inches long. Very nice size, of course, leader class figure here. So as you can see, very G1 looking. He rolls really nice. Details are all there. The wheels are all black, so that's going to get painted. That's going to be getting fixed here pretty soon. Love the color silver that they've used on this. The trailer or the truck itself here in the back, it gets a little messy. You can see Orion's arms sticking out there. I know that there's a lot of controversy as to whether these should be up or if they should be down and plugged into here. Typically, myself personally, I like to plug them into the bottom there. I think it looks better. For the purpose of this review, I'm just going with what the instructions show. This is how it's shown in the instructions. So that's what I'm going with. You can see the trailer, basically just a silver box. A very nice silver paint, though. I really like it. And then we've got these foil stickers that have become, kind of a point of contention with a lot of people. And then you can see in mine, some of these, like this one right here, is not straight at all. So it's already catching. Every time I fold these panels, it catches and it folds. And, eventually that's probably going to need replaced. So there you go. Very nice looking truck from there. He does come with some accessories. The first one is going to be these two weapons right here. And then you can take these two weapons and you've got the plugs up here. So you can plug them in anywhere. Plug them back in. So you can plug these guys up here if you want, which I don't like doing, but you can do that if you want. Or you can also combine these weapons. And now you've got a very G1 Optimus Prime style rifle. And then you can take, there's two holes on the side, one on each side of the rifle rather, and there's a couple of pegs right here, so you can, if you want, split this and mount it up there on the top. So that looks pretty nice when it's like that. Personally, I like to just open up the trailer and throw the the weapon inside of the trailer and have no weapons. Not in this mode. This is a very G1 style Prime, so I like it to just not have any weapons sticking out. Now he also does come with one more accessory, and that's going to be his Matrix of Leadership here. And in the case of mine, they weren't very careful with the paint. You can see some orange splotches right there where it's supposed to be the clear blue stuff. It is transparent blue, so you can see the light coming through. So that's kind of nice. And then they've got the whole gimmick with the Power of the Primes, which I haven't been collecting any of the Power of the Prime figures, so I don't have any others to mix and match these with. But this piece comes out, and I guess this is the Prime Master. And then you've got the little frame here for the Matrix, so you can take other Prime Masters and just swap them out and put them in there instead, or you can put this in one of the hand or foot weapons that come with the either Voyager class or the Deluxe class figures. You can see more paint splotch right there. They were just not very careful. The QC on my copy of the figure, unfortunately, has not been great. You saw there's some, the stickers are just not straight. We've got paint splotches, and there's a tolerance issue that I'm going to get to here in a little bit. Now, another thing you can do is you can take some of the Titan Masters or the Headmasters and plug these in. These will fit because they're just pretty much the same shape. So you can have a Optimus Prime head matrix that you can put inside of Optimus Prime's chest if you just want to get nuts. So that's something that you can do. Now, to store away the matrix, what we're going to do, put that back together, and we're going to come to the front of the cab here and open this up, and there's a slot right here for the matrix. And let me see if I can get this in one try. Usually I can't. I might get lucky. Yep, I did. It's on video, so I got lucky that one time. And there it is. You can just put the matrix right there. And close away the windows, and the matrix is now slow. So that is pretty much it for the truck mode. Now, for comparison, here he is next to the previous Leader Class Optimus Prime, the Titan Masters. So you can see, you're not going to be really able to see them both, but the new one is just a little longer than the previous one. So you can see the new one sticking out just a little bit there. Actually, the angle of the camera is not allowing. There you go. But of course, this new one is going to be considerably, the old one is considerably taller. So very nice contrast here. Two very different vehicles there. And then, of course, here he is next to, take that head off. And here he is next to the previous iteration of Orion's Pax, or Orion Pax. So there you go. You can see what these guys look like together. So, speaking of Orion Pax, let's get into transformation. I'll get these guys here out of the way. And we'll get started. So, to transform Orion Pax, we are going to start out here on the side of the cab, flip these guys up, and these are going to tab in to the side right there. And then these entire side panels are going to come out, and there is a double hinge right there. So these are going to come up and over all the way around to the front and just clip right there. And it kind of creates these two new windows, or windshields, rather. And this piece is completely stuck. There you go. Bring that all the way around. So now you've got these two new windows, or windshields, here on the front of the vehicle. Now we're going to go around to the back here. We're going to take the arms, flip these around, turn to that. And these are actually going to peg into place. Bring the arms down, rotate them, and flip out the wrists. Just like so. Grab this entire panel here. This is going to flip up. It's actually clipped into the legs there, pegged in. So untap that, bring it all the way to the top, and then there's a tab on the back of the head that's going to tab into the top of the chest there. So that's going to clip her head in. And here's where my tolerance issues come in. Let's see if it does it. There it is right there. So you can see exactly what happened. Ever since I've opened this figure, I cannot seem to transform it without one or both of these legs just popping out of the joint here at the hip. So, something to look out for. Just turn the legs, flip out the feet, reattach the leg again. And this one seems to do it more than this one, but they are both doing it on my copy. So that's something to look out for. Now, I have been hunting for this figure for weeks, and this is the one and only time I've ever seen it. So I really can't take it back and exchange it because there's nothing to exchange it with, unfortunately. But I can live with it. It's not that terrible. I mean, it is terrible, but I can live with it. And it's not a loose joint thing, actually. It's a joints too big kind of thing. The ball is either too big or this cavity is not big enough. So whenever you move it around, it just pops up. So that's unfortunate for me. But anyway, here is Orion Pax in robot mode. In robot mode, Orion Pax is approximately 6.5 inches tall, and I absolutely love this design for Orion Pax. This is arguably, in my opinion, the closest that we have ever gotten to the original G1 cartoon model for an Orion Pax figure. I absolutely adore this design. He looks fantastic. Now, of course, he's going to have a little bit of backpack on the side. And again, I don't mind this so much because this reminds me so much of the Power Master Optimus Prime that had the origin, right? If depending on which continuity you follow, but he had that truck front on his back there. So this reminds me a lot of that. And again, it's just so many hints to Power Master Optimus Prime here that I just really love. So yeah, the backpack I don't mind, and the rest of the figure looks absolutely stunning. See if we can get in close here and look at the face. Absolutely love that face for Orion Pax. Very G1 cartoon model. Absolutely love it. And then for articulation, of course, head's on a ball joint, so you got, up and down, rotation, turn side to side, all that good stuff is there. The shoulders are on a ball joint, so you can go in and out, forward, backwards, all the way around. You have a rotation at the bicep, double hinge at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. Unfortunately, you've got that hinge to put it away for transformation. That's about it. Nothing at the waist. You saw that the hips are very interesting. So you've got a hinge right in there. I'm trying to get that in camera. So this whole red piece will rotate with the figure. Very genius how they did that. And then, of course, the outer part of the hip is on that ball joint that you saw earlier. So you've got in and out there, and you've got some forward and backwards limited to that skirt. But as you saw, the skirt can also move. You got a rotation at the thigh. You got a hinged knee, and you got a little hinge at the toe. So a nice range of posability if your hips are not falling off like mine are. So there you go. Now for weapons, as you saw earlier, we have that rifle, the very G1 looking rifle that comes apart, and you can use either or both of these for Orion Pax's weapons. So I personally like this one. I'll show them off with both. But personally, I like this front piece here. That looks like just a gun that any random Cybertronian would carry. I don't really care personally much for this back piece as a gun. I don't think it looks great as a gun. But there it is. Mine are super tight. So this also gets kind of scary. I don't know if everybody's are going to be like this or it's just my copy. But there. So there it is. So there's that one. I don't really care for the look of that one. I prefer this one here. But there you go. You can do both of those if you want. So there you go. Now I'm going to take this one off and real quick show him off for comparison. Right after I put his thigh back on. And you can see this is just a disaster. This is an absolute QC disaster, even for this video. I'm not really doing anything, I don't think, to warrant that hip falling off the way it's falling off, but it just keeps doing it. So, as I mentioned, for comparison, like I said, Orion is about 6.5 inches tall, so he's right around almost Voyager size. Here he is with the previous deluxe class Orion Pax, and you can see all the differences there. And he's considerably taller than Orion Pax. So let me bring in the Voyager Titan Master Optimus Prime, which is just a little bit taller at the top of the head. So, yeah, I think Orion here is right at around a Voyager class. So we got a very nice variety here in that we got a leader class vehicle, a Voyager size figure, and then combine them to a leader class figure. So very, very nice. So we'll take that off. And let's get him ready for his combination. So to do that, just hold his fists back in. We are going to pop his head open and turn it around. Bring the whole chest down. And then pop out his Optimus Prime head. You see that in there. And then we can bring this guy in and put it away. Reason I turn it around, if you don't have to turn it around, but if you don't, then you're going to see Orion Pax's face sticking out of the top of the super robot. So if you turn it around, all you're going to see is blue there. It won't be that intrusive, so there's that. Put the leg back on if the leg fell apart again. Oh dear. Fold the arms up on their double hinges just like that and just let them sit on the side. We are going to put the feet in. And then we are going to turn the legs all the way around at the thighs, not at the hips, at the thighs, so that the wheels are facing us. And then we're going to turn it at the knee and at the hip. And we're going to take these tabs here. You probably hear the exasperation in my voice at this point. We're going to take these tabs here and we're going to tab them into these two slots on the chest up here. Tab there, and tab that one there. And that is it. This is Orion Pax ready for combination with his trailer. So we'll set that aside, and we'll bring in the trailer itself. So we're going to start with the panels here. A couple of panels on the sides. Pop that open. Pop that open. Do that on both sides. Then I'm going to take the entire front of... Bring this up a little bit. The front sections here, and these are just going to rotate out into the sides just like that, all the way around, and then rotate these parts to the top just like so. I'm going to concentrate on the legs for a moment. You can see that the hips and the knees are kind of bent backwards, so Go ahead and straighten those out. Separate the legs. And then these bottom pieces here are going to be the feet, so you can go ahead and untab these and rotate them down like so. Now, I'm going to take this panel here. These panels, we're just going to open them all the way out like that. Take this panel, fold it down, and then everything is going to wrap around the back of the leg, like so. And then this tab is going to go into that slot right in there, locking in the lower part of the leg, just like that. Same thing on this other side. So open the panels all the way out, fold this one in, and then wrap the leg around with the panels. Pop that in place, and the legs are done. Oh, gotta bring the foot down. It's like, why is one of my legs shorter than the other? All right, the hitch for the truck right here, this is gonna fold in, go right in there. Take the arms, you're gonna take these panels here, and these are going to, you have to kind of bring these up a little bit and then rotate these in. That tab's going to go into that slot. And then you can bring these down. And that's going to clip into place there. Bring the arm down, close that panel, come around the back, and bring out the smokestack. Arm is done. Same thing on this side. So I'm going to flip that up, close that panel, lock that panel into place, bring down the arm, close this panel, and bring out the smokestack. And Optimus trailer is now ready for combination. So what we're going to do here is we're going to back up, bring in the Orion Pax part, and very simple, it's just going to slide right in here. And then you're going to want to look at, pay attention to the neck. Optimus's neck here, let me see if I can get that in focus, has a slot right in between the upper part and the lower part of his neck right there. So make sure the head's all the way down. And that slot's going to slot right in there. And it's pretty simple once you get him in there. It's just going to lock right in place. You'll know it because you can't pull it right back out. To get him out, there's a little tab right here. You pull on this tab, push in through the windshields, and he'll pop right out. So go ahead and lock him back into place. Make sure that everything is straight and all the tabs are tabbed. And there is Optimus Prime in his, I guess we'll call it a super robot mode or G1 mode. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Here in this mode, Optimus is approximately 9 inches tall. And this is just a very, very G1 looking Optimus Prime. Not quite Masterpiece caliber, but he looks a lot like he looks like they took a lot of design cues from that Masterpiece Optimus Prime. He is absolutely stunning. Now, he is a little panely and a little backpacky because of the nature of the combination. One thing I will say, if I could change something, is these panels on the leg. Most of these panels, with the exception of this interior panel here, this interior panel shows on the outside of the trailer. Everything else, this is all interior trailer and this is interior trailer. I don't see a reason why these sides of these panels could not have been painted blue to match the rest of the leg. Other than that, everybody else, there was no way to getting around it because these are all exterior panels. So that's fine. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's such a beautiful shade of silver that it actually does look kind of nice. I mean, check that out. It looks really, really good. The backpack, it's not too bad. It's just Orion's legs sticking out there, but they're not very obviously legs, so they don't really bother me at all, really all that much. So he looks good. I like it. I like this a lot. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you can take the guns, put them together, and now you've got yourself a very Optimus G1 rifle there that he can hold. So very, very nice. As far as articulation goes, again, the head is on a ball joint. The shoulders can rotate all the way around. They can go in and out. They have an interior hinge there. You got a rotation at the bicep and a bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. It would have been nice if we would have had a wrist rotation at the very least, but we don't. Nothing at the waist. Unfortunately, it couldn't fit that in because of the latch mechanism to let the Orion Pax figure in and out. The hips are in and out, forward and backwards. You do have a rotation at the very top of the thigh right there. You've got a bend at the knee, and then you've got 3 hinges at the bottom of the foot. You've got a hinge right in there that's going to allow you side to side, as well as a hinge at the very top there for up and down, and then you've got the transformation hinge at the bottom of the shin there, which is going to allow for some forward and backwards. So you can do a lot of movement with the foot, which is going to allow for some very nice dynamic poses. Really, really cool stuff. So it looks really good. Now, one more time, if we open up the chest, we're going to come right up here, open this all the way up, and then we're going to be able to see the truck chest right in there. Go ahead and reach in there, pop that open again, and we still have access to that matrix, if I can get my lighting in there. So if your fingers are small enough, you can reach in there, pull the matrix out, change out the Prime Masters, or put an Optimus Prime head in there if you want. So you can do all of that still if you want. So very cool, lot of playability with this figure. I am really impressed and having a lot of fun with this figure. Now, one more time, for comparison, here he is with the deluxe class Orion Pax, so you can see the size difference there. And why not, here we are with the Voyager class Titans Optimus Prime here. You can see the differences in those. And then, of course, finally, we're going to bring in the previous leader class Optimus Prime, the Power Master style Optimus Prime. And you can see what these guys look like together side by side. So, in fact, if I were to stand this guy straight up, I think he's going to be just a little taller at the top of the head, as you can see. So, very nice. We get a lot of toy with this new figure. Again, you know, we've got a leader class vehicle that turns into a Voyager, missed it by that much, Voyager size figure that combines to give us a nice big leader class figure. So really, really nice. Absolutely love it. It's unfortunate about that one QC issue with mine, and I think that's just with mine. I don't think that's going to be a universal thing. I haven't seen anybody else reporting that same issue. So hopefully that's just with mine and it won't happen to yours. It really is a shame because that Orion Pax figure is gorgeous. It's stunning. Again, I think it's probably the best Orion Pax we've gotten. So it's a shame that I've got that hip issue, and you know I'm just going to have problems displaying it and playing with it and whatnot. So, but I love the truck mode. You know, arguably maybe the little bit of the weaker of the three modes, but I still love it. I think it looks good. I'm going to paint those wheels to make them look a little better. But love that Orion Pax figure and love this Optimus Prime figure. They just look so great. So awesome figure. Get it if you find it. Absolutely great addition to any Transformers or Optimus Prime shelf. So I think with that pretty much covers Transformers Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.